Tchaikovsky's ballet Swan Lake is one that has a bittersweet ending in which the prince and his true love Odette choose to drown themselves in the lake to escape the evil Rothbart and Odile but still ascend to the heavens together. Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan, whose plot revolves around this ballet, follows in line with that bittersweet ending. Black Swan is a psychological horror film that centers around Nina, a naive dancer in the New York City Ballet Company. The company is performing Swan Lake in their new season, for which Nina is cast as the lead. But Nina's endless search for perfection in playing the dual roles of the white and black swans causes her to start losing her grip on reality. Nina continues to suffer from delusions and hallucinations which continue to grow as the pressure becomes greater and greater. All of this culminates with the ending where Nina is badly injured but finally believes she has achieved perfection. The pressures have finally lifted and Nina is at last free from her tormentors. Leading up to this moment, many elements of the film come together to demonstrate this message. Through the costuming and the narrative form, Black Swan shows that the lengths one is willing to go to be free of what's oppressing them may cost them everything. Costuming plays a big role throughout Black Swan in defining each character's role in the story. First, there's Nina. Her costumes for the majority of the film are pure white or have a lot of white in them. This is because the white swan is the role she had already perfected. Nina was naive at the beginning of the film, fit for the role of the white swan. But the trouble comes in with her playing the black swan. Slowly throughout the film, Nina's outfits start to incorporate black. This happens with the tank top when she goes out with Lily and her outfits in rehearsals. This shows her evolving into the roles and her growing confidence. Next, there's the people who Nina sees as holding her back. There is her mother, who really is holding her back. Her mom, for the most part, wears dark colors. This pegs her as Nina's oppressor, always keeping Nina in her childlike state of mind. Then there's Nina's doppelganger, who wears outfits that both copy Nina and oppose Nina. There's Thomas, who wears dark jackets and scarves for most of the film. He often takes advantage of Nina. And there's the other dancers, all vying for the role of the Swan Queen, who also wear dark colors. Finally, there's Lily. She wears almost exclusively black throughout the whole film, especially when she is around Nina. Most of what Nina is perceiving about Lily seems to be a hallucination, but she is still seen as an adversary, trying to replace her as the Swan Queen. This is shown through their opposing outfits in all of the scenes that they share together. At the beginning of the film, by having Nina in white and everyone else in black, it makes her seem like the weaker one. As the movie goes on, she comes into the role of the Black Swan and starts to mimic what her oppressors wear, making her more level to them in confidence. By the end, she stands up to many of them and shows her power, even though the way she got that power came at a cost. She changes into almost a fundamentally different person to be free of her oppressors. Black Swan also uses narrative form in a way that hides some elements from the audience. By introducing Nina as the sole point of view and having her character experience delusions throughout the film, the audience then has to decide what's real and what's not. There are certain delusions that Nina experiences that seem like they could be real. This is especially seen when Nina fights her doppelganger at the end and it changes into Lily. When actually fighting her doppelganger, it seems to be obvious that she's having a delusion, but when the figure turns into Lily, it seems to be real. The audience is tricked into believing that it's real because it seems like something that could really happen because of her delusions. Seeing this makes it seem like Nina has finally beat her adversaries. She defeated both her doppelganger and Lily, while also fully coming into the form of the Black Swan. However, this shows just how far she had to go to get there at this point. She had to kill someone to fill that role. But when it is revealed that she didn't actually stab anyone, she instead stabbed herself, that's when the story seems to come full circle. The audience thought she had finally freed herself by defeating these people, but instead she caused herself even more harm. While still being free in a way, it also in some ways came with an even greater cost: her life. Nina's journey throughout the film takes her through a transformative process. She starts as a naive girl who lives under the control of everyone around her as well as her desire for perfection. For the rest of the film, Nina moves towards independence and becoming her own person. Most of this growth comes from her transformation into the Black Swan. Through this change, she gains her own power and can finally be confident in herself and her perfection. But this transformation comes at a huge cost. She has at least hurt herself badly, if not killed herself. Her mental health has also deteriorated to a place where recovery seems very unlikely. To achieve that perfection she so desired and be free from her adversaries, it very well could have cost her everything that really matters. So at what point has a person gone too far when trying to get away from what's oppressing them?
It was perfect.